Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to tea time. I am out in the garden and I have my daughter's dog with me, and I just got back from the pastures where I was meeting with the veterinarian to pull some teeth for an old horse we have. He's going to be much more comfortable now. And I was thinking a little bit about dominance. This is a conversation I've been having with a number of people, and it's sort of an interesting thing to think about. My profession is to see how much is possible with horses without dominance, because it's interesting to me. Good morning, Sally. Welcome. But I'm having a conversation with a lot of people lately about when is dominance actually appropriate. And I'm sure Kata, the puppy, is here with her soccer ball, joining us for tea time. So the fact is, safety really has to come first. Horses have to feel like they are essentially safe. Oh my goodness, you're going to be very distracting, aren't you, Kata? I just have to share some of the goings on around us. I know in my little advertisement for tea time, I said there might be bald eagles. I'm not hearing them right now, but they absolutely dive bombed right over the trees earlier today and were swooping over the pond, so they might show up again. Hello, Hannah. Welcome. So dominance, my description of dominance is when you cause discomfort in the horse, and that discomfort motivates them to change their behavior. Now, the discomfort may be something as simple as withholding the food they want. The discomfort might be making them emotionally uncomfortable. But the fact is, you usually need tools to dominate a horse, because if they are uncomfortable, they usually walk away. And they walk somewhere until they can find comfort. So if you want to dominate a horse, you usually have to have fences that will keep them from leaving you, or a halter or a lead rope, or the food they really want, because they won't tolerate the motivation of discomfort unless they have something keeping them there. But that doesn't mean that dominance is bad. And one of the things that I've really been thinking about is the fact that sometimes horses make themselves uncomfortable by the way they feel. So if they hyperfixate on one point of focus that makes them anxious, for instance, if they see a horse that they want to be close to and it's too far away, we would call it herd bound, that discomfort in their body is already very punishing to them. And they don't know how to change their behavior to solve it. Now, in freedom-based training, it's a long process of teaching them to change focus so that they don't hyper-focus on the thing that makes them uncomfortable. They change focus and they look away and they find something else to think about that soothes them, that comforts them. But the thing is, in a lot of situations, when we haven't done that training or they don't have that skill yet, they might feel like they're being punished by their own feelings. And if we can use a certain amount of dominance, which is pressure that causes discomfort, that causes change. So if we can use enough dominance to get them to think about something else, I have to just share the puppy with you because the puppy is being ridiculous, rolling around. I don't have bald eagles to share with you, but I do have puppy dogs to share with you. Kata and her soccer ball. So anyway, back to the theory of dominance. If you have some sort of pressure that you can put on the horse that forces them to think about something that will make them feel better, you have just saved them from their own internal emotional punishment. And that's when dominance is really appropriate. The other time dominance is really appropriate is obviously if they're going to hurt themselves. And so you want to think about, are they safe enough? And then you want to think about, are they in a place where they can learn from this hyperfixation on discomfort, which usually only happens when they're safe enough? Or are they in a place where they are going to hurt themselves because they feel so punished by their internal emotional feelings? And those are important questions to ask. You know, when I am standing there with the veterinarian who's going to do some dental work on a horse, it would be wonderful if I had years of practice being able to touch them with a hand or lead by example and help them focus on the things that soothe them so that no dominance was necessary. It's an ideal world. I mean, we all aim for that, where you can just soothe your horse with a simple touch or word and they settle. But in the real world, sometimes you're in a situation, like with a veterinarian, where, you know what, the horse feels really bad. They're focusing on something that makes them feel terrible. And if you have a way to use dominance to help them change their focus, they will be grateful for that. And that will be helpful to them. And so it's one of those things where I don't specialize in dominance. It's not what I study. But I do honor that it is valuable sometimes. It is valuable to keep horses safe when they don't have the education they need to stay safe. And it is valuable to help them change focus when they are hyperfixating on something that makes them internally and emotionally very uncomfortable. So I just wanted to share those things with you guys a little bit. Some thoughts to take with you. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep pushing the edges of my understanding on what it takes to train horses without dominance. Because that's what's fascinating to me. That's what I love. And I think it's valid. But I'm also going to tell you that I am not opposed to the kind of pressure that creates discomfort in training if it means the horse has a better quality of life in that moment. Kata thinks that her quality of life would be a lot better if I would kick the soccer ball for her. So, you know, take those thoughts with you. We want to keep our horses safe. We want to keep them happy. Ultimately, we want to give them all of the tools necessary so that they don't need dominance, so that dominance is not necessary or useful. But if a little bit of pressure that causes discomfort that helps them think differently is the best action in that moment, you have my full support. And I do think there's some horses and sometimes in some places that are so grateful for a little bit of a boundary or a redirect. Think about something different. This thing that you're hyper-focusing on is just making your life miserable. But maybe if you thought about something else, life would be better. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any subject you would like me to talk about. I write them all down. I have a list. I try and have some sort of a personal experience or a story to go with my theories. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I love to look back on the requests. It really helps jog my mind on Tuesdays of what we're going to talk about this week. So thank you guys for joining me. And I'll be here next Tuesday. And I should be able to be on time next Tuesday. Have a wonderful day.